do you believe that we could grow apart?
Yes. I feel like you can grow apart from anyone, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's spouses. I think as humans, we evolve, we change. Either circumstances in life change us, or we in our own, in our own understanding or on our own volition decide we're going to change. And so I think something as simple as like, I've decided not to drink anymore, but you're still a drinker.
Okay.
And it's like, those two things may not be able to coexist.
So are we saying that because it doesn't coexist, that we don't stay together?
I think there's a possibility, because I think sometimes growth happens. You're not attracted to me because you've grown.
That's a thing. That's a real thing. I get that. Okay. Like there sometimes your package cannot look as good anymore because I went and renovated my whole apartment, and you sitting over there in the busted apartment.
Right. In a relationship, not in a friendship, how in a relationship do you keep yourself humble? Not humble. I don't think humble is the right word. Like, is there a point where you're tolerating it? Like, how do you still seek your growth, but don't lose interest in the fact that you're just not doing anything?
We don't have the answers. Still we're figuring it out. Through the mess and the laughter, through the stress and the doubt. Yeah. Leaning in the faith now. Trusting God day by day. In the chaos of family, He's the truth and the way. Let's go. Marriage, kids, and questions. Yeah, we're winging it too. If you don't have the answers, we're just walking in faith with you. Marriage, kids, and questions. Every joy, every tear you go. If you don't have the answers, we're just walking in faith with you.
I like your fit.
Thanks. This is the limited edition. Straight from Africa, from the motherland.
Stop. Not
the motherland apparel.
It's
actually called cotton art.
Cotton art.
Cotton art. Shout out. Cotton art in Africa. I don't know what part of Africa. I don't know if he was in South Africa or North Africa, but shout out Paulie for picking up this shirt for me. It's an amazing shirt.
You do know Africa is a continent.
That's what I said.
No, I know. I'm just saying that. So like when you're like South Africa, there is no North Africa. Like there's Northern Africa, but there's no like place called North Africa.
I know.
I thought you were naming it as like South Dakota, North Dakota. It's not quite like that.
How y'all doing? She's trying to play me right now and trying to like showcase that I don't know my geographical regions as well as she does. So.
No, I just the way you said it was weird. But I do like the shirt. It's when you walked down, I was taken aback. It's different. We're both showing up very different today.
We are. We're wearing our different shades of white.
Well, I got my hair cut, and then you came with a different vibe.
That's true. That's true. They haven't seen the bob yet. The bob in my shirt. They both are putting on a new appearance here. Oh, yep. Check you out. Aren't you beautiful?
Which? Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Which?
My artwork.
Which I think will go good with our topic today. Okay, so today's topic, because I don't know how any other way to introduce it, and you have challenged me with introducing the topic.
Let's do it.
What do we do, or how? No, I don't want to say what do we do. How have we addressed and or navigate, or how we currently navigate, or what have we seen happen when growth individually, like individual growth, kind of takes off for one of us, and maybe the other one isn't either matching that growth in the same speed or the same area, or they're not quite understanding it, and then it leads us to disconnection. And like one way it was written was like, what happens when change or growth outpaces understanding it in a relationship. Because you see this a lot with couples or people who be like, we just grew apart.
Yeah. And you say, and so in this, are we like kind of thinking from a standpoint of like, what happens when the growth of two people, they grow apart based on their growth, based on their lack of growth, based on, I don't, okay, let's start with this. Do you believe that we could grow apart?
Yes. I feel like you can grow apart from anyone, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's spouses. I think as humans, we evolve, we change. Either circumstances in life change us, or we in our own, in our own understanding or on our own volition decide we're going to change. And so I think to naively think, well, we could never grow apart would suggest that we're always going to have these same experiences, or we're going to have these same decisions of like, I want to do different. So like some examples of like a spouse growing, they could reconnect to their faith. I can't make another person reconnect to faith without their participation, right? Or even going to therapy, right? Changing habits.
But do you think that stuff causes people to grow apart? When I think of grow apart, maybe let me define what I'm thinking of as grow apart. I'm thinking like they grow apart so that they end up not being together. Like I became a Christian. You decided you wanted to be a Buddhist, and we decided not to stay together because we felt like our lives weren't well together anymore. Is that what you mean by grow apart?
I think that's one example. Or it could be that, because I think, okay, so visually, let's say like this is the couple, right, together. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And if one person starts to grow and the other one doesn't, that is growing apart. Like there's steps. So I think it doesn't have to be something as like, oh, you made a decision, I made a decision, these decisions don't match. It could be something as simple as like, hey, I've decided to change my, like, oh, something as simple as like, I've decided not to drink anymore, but you're still a drinker.
Okay.
And it's like, though that may not, that those two things may not be able to coexist.
So are we saying that those, because it doesn't coexist, that we don't stay together?
I think that is there's a possibility, because I think sometimes growth happens and the understanding on the other partner may not catch up in time. But I guess my question is like, what happens when someone does start to grow? Like, how do I not grow apart?
Yeah.
Like, how do we?
Well, this might be easier if we answer it from like
that's what I'm saying, like how we've grown, like,
and like whether
for sure,
like whether our growth has possibly led to us not being together anymore. Like, are we?
But I don't want to put like the finality of like not together anymore. I think it could be a temporary disconnection. It doesn't necessarily mean, but like, how have you and I decided, or how have you and I, or how are we even currently kind of like navigating areas in which one may be growing in one area and the other maybe hasn't caught up? Because let's be honest, growth can feel extremely lonely. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right? Like when you've decided to, either life's decided it for you or you've decided on your own to grow, that can feel very lonely.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I really think that when it comes to growth, and we're gonna have to use an example, like some way that we've actually grown, because it's hard to really think of this from just a general standpoint. When I begin to grow closer to God, when I made that decision, I don't think I don't think since we've met each other, we've ever seen each other as like, well, I'm a Christian, he's not a Christian. I think we've both
Yeah.
held the title or held the title as a Christian.
Okay,
Right? So I'm just using this example just so we can
I was
have
going to use
something.
one that maybe
Okay.
is like more relevant and less, not more relevant, but something we like we do have that's a little less, because Christian or like religion, that's a hard thing to disagree, or one person to grow and not one another. Like that's a really difficult thing to hold. Like for instance, I have prioritized my health a little differently than I ever have in the past.
Okay. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And so with that, I've changed certain priorities. I've changed certain eating. There's certain things that I have changed that you necessarily, I'm not going to say like you don't like, but it's not necessarily like you're growing in those areas with me.
Right. Yeah.
So it could be something as simple as that.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
Because, I mean, that's not something we did together as a family. Like we didn't decide one day, wake up and all of us just say that we want to all change our habits because we feel like we're eating unhealthy and different things. That was something that you did based on the journey you took to begin to work out more and different things. And I agree that you can't just work out and not eat well. It kind of defeats the purpose. I mean, like when you really look at it, also when you look at the results you've had, it's like, oh, yeah, okay, well, clearly she knew what she was talking about. But I think that when it comes to those type of things, if you're asking us to join you, if you're asking us to be a part of the journey, I don't know if I would say there's been like a hard, like, hey, look, I'm not making multiple meals for y'all, so we're all eating zucchini fries tonight. You're going to eat them with me. And it's like, okay, wait, like that's almost like, I feel like that's like fasting. Like saying, hey, look, I'm going to fast and you guys are fasting too. Like, I mean, unless God called me to fast, I'm not going, or unless God called me and you to fast, I'm not going to bring my kids on the fast because we're fasting. And I know there have been some people that were just like, hey, look, if y'all are fasting, the whole house is fasting. No, see, I'm not going to create a space where my kids feel like their relationship with God is based on our decisions, if you get what I'm saying.
I disagree, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, we're already gonna disagree. Let's go.
No, I don't.
It's good.
I don't disagree with the fasting thing. That's a spiritual call. Like that's something God calls you to.
Right.
When it comes to food and health and things like that,
okay, that's different.
That's a little different. As a parent, we are like that is something that I am to teach and share, or if I'm the one making the meals. I think this is kind of goes back to like growth can feel very lonely. Yeah. Because where like when you know more or when you experience more,
right.
or when you see like the ways in which certain types of foods and things like that are extremely negative for your health, to not want better for your family is difficult.
Yep.
So I would not say me having you guys eat zucchini fries is the same as having you guys fast.
Right. So if you're asking us to eat zucchini fries, it's because you care about our health. And yes, we're on the same page. We're not disagreeing on that. I believe that yes. When it comes to how we eat, how we choose to eat as a family, if we choose to go all gluten-free, cool. We're going to do that as a family. We're making that choice for our kids because we feel like that's what's best for them. And and to be honest, it probably would have been, if that's something we wanted to do, that'd be something we probably have started when they were younger. So we're not trying to get them in teenage years to just change their complete. I mean, I guess we could do that, but golly.
But I think but to that point, like even to this example, is there a point in where like there are couples who have bonded over things like the meals, like this is how we eat. What happens when one is like, this is no longer serving me? Does that disrupt the bond? Or can that disrupt a bond? Like
I've never considered it like that because I don't think we've ever dated based on our eating style, based on what we like to eat, we've never been foodies that were like,
no,
we like
that. Yes, but I bet you if I had you eat peas, you would feel differently.
Man.
I literally just had this conversation with a neighbor. She's like, just throw in some frozen peas. I said, my family would revolt.
I don't know what neighbor that was, but listen here.
They didn't know.
Don't do that. Don't ever do that again. Like don't come for me or anybody in this house. Peas. That's how you gonna come. You are not the enemy. I mean, you are not the neighbor now. You are the ops. You are the ops. Whoever you are.
But I'm just saying. I think that when couples do, when one person in a marriage decides to change, and like it doesn't have to, we're using this example because this is probably a very real example for us, right. But even like one begins to go to therapy,
yep,
and certain boundaries are created, or certain, like there are less, like it doesn't necessarily mean the change is bad, but it does change the dynamic. Like even my style of like eating, my routines, it does, even though it's not bad, mm-hmm. and it's not negatively affecting you, it is changing the dynamic. And if you haven't agreed to that dynamic because you didn't initiate it, there does create some level of disconnection.
Yeah. And I don't think it's the type of disconnection that's going to make or break us.
No.
I think it's just a disconnection that's going to challenge the way we prepare meals around here, the way in which we go out to eat and the choice options they have there and different things like that. I think that if we decide, hey, look, I'm no longer eating greasy foods, then that may cut out fast foods for the whole house to where, okay, if we eat out, we're going to have to try options that are more healthy, that have healthy options, if you get what I'm saying. So, yeah, I think.
But what happens when you're in a relationship? So do you feel like there is a space, or maybe space is not the right word, responsibility, maybe is it better, or like, or do you feel like, forget about everybody else, do you feel like you have a responsibility that if I have initiated a change, or if life somehow has changed me, right? So a diagnosis or anything like that, do you have a responsibility as my spouse to try and understand it?
Most definitely. Yeah. Like,
because I think a lot of people feel like, but that's not who I married.
Yeah, no. Okay, there are certain situations in a marriage where when life changes the dynamic, not because we chose to, but because it's just what life has dished out to you, then sometimes you make a sacrifice. It becomes a sacrifice to say, hey, look, we're going to do this for the best interest of you, and it's going to be a sacrifice for me, so be it. I'm going to do it because it's in the best interest of you. That may not be everybody's answer. I'm not trying to answer for everybody. This is these are the type of conversations where somebody can listen to this and say, well, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Cool. Yeah. But like, I think a lot of that is based on, and it's going to sound weird, but like, it's not about how much you love a person. Cause I don't want to sit here and say, well, if you love a person, you would do it. No, I think it's more of like the sacrifice you're willing to make for the home, for your spouse, for your kids. It could be that our kids begin to have an allergic reaction to certain things and we now have to change. Cool. Like not because I love them more than anybody else. It's just that it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make based on what they are going through, what you may be going through. So yeah, I think that it's worth the sacrifice in that case. That is one of those, not rare, but just one of those situations where life says, hey, look, for my own health, like let's just say you had a peanut butter allergy. God, like no peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. That would be hard for you, wouldn't it? It would just be hard for all of us because I've grown up on peanut butter and jelly. So now we're saying, okay, like we have a child that has a peanut butter allergy. We can't keep peanut butter in the house. We're going to have to figure that out together from a standpoint of like, it's for the best interest of our child. Like
for the life of our child.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be hard, but it's not about thinking about how hard it is. It's like, yo, I have to make this sacrifice. It is for the best interest of my child or my wife or whoever. So
what do you think happens when, let's take it a little separate, like when one person decides to go to therapy and quote, we'll say heal, but like begin to like deal with.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think that when I don't know which one of us were going to therapy first.
I've been in therapy since postpartum, so I think it was me.
Okay. All right. So let's just say you were coming to me and saying, hey, look, I've been going to therapy. I really think you should go to. I think you have to leave that ball in my court.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because therapy is weird to some people. Therapy to men, man, I hate to like put us out here like this, but like men are doing a lot better now. We are growing, man. I'm so proud of brothers I'm so proud of people, period. The other day we was at something and this lady was like, yeah, we got family therapy. And I overheard her say it. And my nosy self was just like, excuse me, wait a minute, ma'am. What does that look like? What is family therapy? Like, what is that? And she was like, we're all going to go down to a place, sit down on the couch together as a family, and we're going to talk about things. I was like, yo, I love that. I love y'all. Y'all are awesome. Because that is something I don't really see, especially in the, man, I'm going to put it out there, especially in the Black community. I don't hear about that. I don't see that. When I hear that, yo, bro, I love it. I love it. I'm here for it. But yeah, when it comes to men, we already have there's a stigma that we don't talk about things. I say it's a stigma just because I don't want to own that. I don't want to say that is us. I believe we are outgrowing that. But there's a stigma. There's been a stigma that we don't talk about things. So to think that we're just going to gladly be up to the idea of going to therapy, we're going to have to see the benefit, or it's going to have to be a forced thing. Like we're talking about individual therapy. But when you're talking about couples counseling, that's different. That's sometimes something that men just buy into because man,
I have a very hot take on that. That's what they say.
Hot take. Here comes a hot take. All right.
No, I don't think you should go to couples therapy before you've gone to individual therapy.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I
the
100% agree with you.
reason I say that is because individually you have your survival modes, you have your kind of defaults, things like that. And those are some of those may be rooted in trauma, or some of those may be rooted in dysfunction that you are bringing to a relationship. And there's just not enough time in a couples counseling session to dig into one person's and really help them come up with, coping mechanisms. I mean, if it's trauma, you may have to do trauma therapy. There is a lot that goes into working through your stuff. And when you haven't worked through your stuff and then you try to work through your stuff together, it's like you're both bringing stuff that's never even been looked at, or even it's in suitcases and I'm carrying it and I'm bringing it and I'm asking you to hold it, but I can't even tell you what's in the suitcase. And so I feel like there's a level of a lack of understanding that you have of yourself to then come to a therapist in a couples session and to be able to say, no, I do that. And I know I do that because of this, or I have seen that. There's just a lack of awareness. I also don't think I agree with you. You have to leave that in that person's court, because I think you can go to therapy and it not help if you are not willing to actually be open. You can go and just do, but you have to actually buy into the thing that this is what I actually want different.
Yeah.
And if you don't want different, then going to therapy is not going to make you want different all of a sudden.
It's going to be a waste of money.
You might learn some fancy words. You might learn a new thing. But I think the actual, there is a point in which you have to make the decision that you want different.
Yeah. Okay. So let me say this though. I think I can also see, since we're on the therapy topic of like growth, change, outgrowing or changing when a person chooses not to. I would say I can see, and this is, I'm not trying to debate anybody in this. What do people debate your mama? But like therapy can be like choosing Christianity, choosing Christ. Let me tell you why I say that. When you choose Christ, you begin to transform. Your transformation is going to be seen by others that you are around. Therapy, when you begin to deal with stuff, it begins to change your heart posture on things. People start to recognize how you respond to things or don't respond to things.
Super dangerous to.
Yep.
This is why a lot of the Christian community does not agree with therapy, because you are replacing Christ with therapy. But continue.
Absolutely, I'm not doing that. Come on, like if that's what you think, go argue with your mama. But like what I'm saying,
I just think you need to be very clear.
Okay, all right. No. Thank you. Hey, look, I have no problem with you helping me clear that up, and that's not what I'm saying. I am simply saying that, first of all, therapy is never and never will be a substitute or another option instead of Christ. I'm simply talking about the transformation that happens between the two. The transformation that happens when it comes to, like, every time I bring up this topic, I know it's going to start an argument, but I bring this topic up and you don't seem to be triggered by it anymore. You don't seem to respond the same way anymore. That's different. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool,
I think the difference between those two that I would highlight, though, is one is done in your own strength and the other is not.
That's a good point. Yeah. No,
therapy is you changing your behavior by your willpower. You like things in that or not necessarily changing your behavior, but like maybe it's putting in boundaries. Maybe it's, there's different ways in which you get there. However, I think when you are being transformed by Christ, it is through his power and through him that he transforms you, and so you show up differently. It's more his power than yours.
Right.
That's not to say the two cannot work together.
Okay, I was about to say.
However,
let's make sure.
No, I do think the two can work together, and I think God can, through therapy, reveal areas in which you are choosing, something that he doesn't have for you, or you're choosing behaviors that he would not. He is empowering you to choose differently.
Yeah.
I think where you would diverge is this idea, and I'm gonna say it, and I don't know if but like this idea of God only helps those who help themselves, right? There's this whole idea, and I would say that that's not biblical, but it's not.
Then there's that. Just make sure we're pointing that out. Yeah.
But no, I'm saying that's where I think people can get kind of hung up, like, oh, this is all on me, even if I have Christ. And I don't think that's true either.
Yeah.
So I just think there is a difference in who is doing the changing. And there are a lot of people, I think, that when you go to therapy, but regardless, either way, there is a change that is occurring in a person. And when a change, and I say this all the time, they say, like, think of it like a circle. If you react one way and then this person reacts the other way, and like you kind of go, there's like a dynamic between two people. If one person changes, it completely throws off the dynamic and you have to create a new dynamic.
Based on therapy, you're saying, like, if a person
just if someone changes, period. If someone changes in a relationship, a new dynamic must be created. Because a dynamic only works when you're both working it. So like if, let's just say me and you are very volatile when we argue and you scream and cuss and I throw things.
Sounds about right. Sounds just like me.
No. But if, let's just say one day I stop throwing things and you're like, and I don't react to your screaming and cussing, you will realize that that's not effective. You're not getting the rise you want out of me. It will change the dynamic.
For sure.
Right? And so even in any change, when one person changes in any relationship,
okay,
It doesn't just have to be a marriage. When one person changes, you ultimately change the dynamic.
Right. Okay. I'm with
But
you.
how do you, but that person who is changing didn't necessarily ask you if that, like, ask the spouse if that's okay. And so how do, like, when you feel like your spouse is changing.
Yeah. How does that work though? Asking your spouse if it's okay if I change. I feel like then at that point
I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
Okay.
But
okay.
but a little bit to a point, what I'm trying to make, I don't think you do ask them.
Yeah.
I think what happens is they look up and they're like, but I didn't want to. I was okay with this. I didn't want to change. This is what we do. This is who we are.
No, this is what we did, and this is who you still are. I have decided to take a new route. So this is what you do now.
But can you not see how that could create disconnection?
Yes, it could, especially if the person is caught off guard and they didn't know you were going to therapy, or they didn't know you were going to going to work out, didn't know you were changing. Yes, it can catch a person off guard, because it's like we used to eat ice cream together on Fridays. That was our thing, and now you're not eating ice cream because you're on this weight loss journey, and so it's affecting the way our friendship used to work, because this is
Right.
what we do.
Right.
And so, yeah, I get that. I can see that. I mean, but I think that's why for a lot of us, relationships are not always for life. There are seasons where sometimes the relationships I have been built on the version of me that I've been. If I choose to grow and I choose to not do that anymore, then it's not that I don't love you. It's just that if me and you used to smoke together and I no longer smoke because I've got a new job, then out of respect, our friendship now has to be based on something else. Because if you just continue to disrespect me by saying, hey bro, I'm just gonna pull up on you, man, I got something to ask you, but like you pull up on me and like your whole car is boxed out, like, bro, come on. Like you don't see the importance of my growth and how my job could random me. So like you're not respecting the growth that is happening to me, even though it may not have been my choice. It's my job's choice. And because I get paid by this
That's
job.
what I'm saying. Sometimes it's life.
So sometimes it's just life. And my growth comes with that. So yeah, I think that it's not so much a lack of law or a loss of love for a person. It's that my growth has said that I can't meet you that way anymore. I can't ride with you that way anymore.
Right.
So if you choose to stay that way, then yes, we are going to outgrow each other based on the life.
But I think this is where a lot of couples find themselves. Is one has decided that they don't want to live the life that they've created, whether that be because of faith, whether that be because of therapy, whether that be because of both, whether that, whatever that catalyst may be. And their partner, how do you, because I think we can grow apart, we can grow differently. That doesn't mean we have to grow apart.
Yeah.
And so is there a responsibility? Because it's, yes, in friendship, it's easy to say we've grown apart. We can't be, I still love that person. They're a great person. We just don't have anything else in common. But when you're saying marriage, especially in a Christian context where it's like, no, this is for life. But then these changes begin to happen when you're meeting someone, you really do. It's how do you navigate that when you're not the one who asked for the change, when you're not the one who asked for different?
Yeah. Man, I mean, that's right off. That's hard. Let's just say that for anybody that's going through that, that's hard. There's no easy answer. There's no easy.
Yeah.
There's no easy explanation. There's no do this, do that. Man, let's just sit in the heart of this, that I wouldn't want anybody to say, man, we didn't make it, or our marriage didn't work because of his lifestyle changed that just completely sabotaged their marriage. Man, that's tough. I truly think that's where some level of coming together to try to not even repair, because it's not that anything's broken, but to try to find a level where both of you can stand, whether that's me coming, it's gonna sound bad, me coming down and you coming up, or us finding a way to where what I've chosen, what you've chosen, we can cohabitate. What is the word? Cohabitate together. Because yeah, man, like
I think also finding ways to stay connected even in the evolving.
Okay.
Like finding connection points, because just because there are areas in which we don't necessarily do the same thing that like together, or I've changed in this area, doesn't mean that every area that we connected in I've changed.
For sure. Right. You just haven't completely like just done a full makeover. There's still a lot of things that we may have in common that we may still love, but there's just this one thing that we don't see eye to eye on.
But I do think what you said earlier is on point though. Like I think there has to be a level of sacrifice in the sense of like allowing your partner to evolve, because first of all, if someone is staying the same for the entirety of their life, that's scary.
Not because we said it, but no, she's right. I mean, like the truth matters. If you're staying the same, or if you even have the mindset that I'm gonna always be the same.
This is who I am.
Listen to me. There is no award for that. That is dangerous, bro.
Yeah.
Like you like let me speak to you and say that like nobody is doing that. I don't know if there is a code that says, hey, look, stay down and stay the same.
Well,
No,
I don't think anyone actually does that. I think people are more comfortable when they choose to change. It's uncomfortable when someone else's chooses change and then you're forced into it.
100%, for sure.
And it's not like you're forced into it, like you have to change. No, just by natural dynamics, I'm having to change because this dynamic has changed. And so we are more resistant to it.
Yeah.
Not because we want to stay the same, but because it's like, well, I didn't think this needed to be changed. I didn't think I needed to eat zucchini fries. Why can't I have regular fries?
You know what's crazy, even what you're saying though, is that most of the time when people make changes or implement a change in a home and at work or whatever, it is normally for your good. It is for your best interest, which is the crazy part, because it made me think about like technically how in the technical field, me giving you a new laptop is a good thing. Now
They do not always like it. I can't find any of my stuff. I don't know where this is. It all looks different.
Right. And that is a reality too.
Yeah.
But the truth is that what I'm giving you should
better.
make your life better, should make your work be done faster,
Right.
should be a benefit. But the truth is it's all about how you see
So
it.
maybe our perspective on growing or a change in a partner, especially if it's a positive change, right? Like not, oh, they've changed and now they're out every night at the bar. Like that's not the type of change we're talking about. That's not actually growing, right? We are specifically talking about growth. We are specifically talking about areas in which we,
They changed and now they out of the bar all the time. I don't know if that's a change. I mean, it is, but like, yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I mean, I think we are specifically talking about growth.
That man grew downward. Look, this is my reasoning. No, I had to grow down so my roots can go down so I can go up. So no, it's going to be ugly for a while. What?
But I'm being serious. Like, I'm being serious that like,
yeah.
I think to the point though, is like our perspective on someone else's growth and how it impacts or I guess inconveniences us.
Mm-hmm.
If we would change the way in which we address that, would the way we stay connected. And it's not that I have to grow, because there's also sometimes this fear of like, is this person going to outgrow me?
Oh wow. Is that okay? Is that a real thing? Is that really happening?
Is what?
Like,
Yes.
is a person like, I'm worried that they're going to outgrow me? Like, I know there's sometimes, especially when it comes to like money, like some people get nervous, like, oh, like I can't, like, oh man, it's not saying all men, but there's some men who are like, yo, my woman can't make more than me or something like that.
Yes, I've heard of this as well.
I'm not that guy, clearly, but I mean, I guess there's some growth that people are nervous about another person doing because of how it makes them look.
Right. And I think
Like,
for this, we'll go back to like, if you're not in a place where you're ready to commit to working out, where you're ready to commit to healthy eating, where you're ready to commit to a more balanced sleep schedule. If you're not ready, and especially in fitness, you see this a lot in fitness though, where a female or a male will become, this is not our story.
I was about to say, look, I'm sitting here and I'm like, is this your way to let me know you don't like my damn bod? Because I like my damn bod. Like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, no, there's no way. It all set to hit me like, wait a minute, maybe she's trying to like throw like subliminals at me right across from me. Like,
no, I am not. I'm not. I am saying that there is, because they'll call it like a revenge bod or things like that. No, this is a thing. This is a trend.
A revenge bod. That's crazy.
It's oftentimes when women get divorced, they will get their revenge body because
okay. That's diabolical, but I see it now. I get it.
Yeah.
That's diabolical.
But it does plant the seed of like, if they're progressing and I'm not progressing, people could see it in their career, right? I think it would probably be more on the male end of like, if a woman is progressing and growing in her career and the male is not, I think it creates this disconnect of, or this kind of sore spot of, it's not like you're outgrowing me, but do I still measure up? Like, do I still, like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like, a lot of times we'll say, people are like, oh, you married up. Like a little,
okay,
which I don't really love that saying. I'm not necessarily saying
that.
No.
But you know what? It just hit me though. And this one can actually be a close to home one though. Like,
why? Because you married up.
Yeah, I did. I did. And
you're only saying that because we're on the air. You would not say in real life. If we were having this conversation, he would not say that. Continue.
That is not true. True. First of all, I don't think I married up. I think I married right.
That was a good save.
I like
that. Did it just come to you?
It did. That's how the Holy Spirit works. If you're ever wondering. That's how the Holy Spirit works. But let me say this. You beginning to work out, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if like you were going to even get anywhere with it, or if it's just going to go over there and you just going to be running the bike and you just going to be just having fun. But when you begin to start losing weight and you started to like trim up and everything, I was sitting there and I was kind of like, oh crap. Like, wait a minute now. Like she can't get too fit because then it's gonna look crazy on my side. I'm gonna be sitting over here with the active dad bod, and active dad bod is more of like it's like a toned dad bod. It ain't like I just let it go, but you can't leave me too far behind, because then like I'm not gonna be answering no questions of like, hey bro, like dang bro, you got a bad one. Like, wait a minute, like hold on, I like you act like I couldn't get her, like you saying it like she hold up though, like wait a minute though, like you know what I'm saying? Like, so I have thought about that. That has crossed my mind of like, is there going to be a point where like you're going to have to get out here and spin class on that road? Like you're going to have to hit that road bike and you're going to have to catch back up. And they're going to be like, why are you riding so fast? Man, listen, my wife done just like sprinted off, and I gotta like, I can't let her like sprint fully off. Like Like she can't be buying new bathing suits, and I'm sitting over here staring wearing my my dad's bathing suit. Like hold up, like hold on. And that's not because I'm insecure, but that's just simply saying.
But I think that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Not just with this is a I think this is a less sensitive topic, but not to some. This is not actually some to some, like looks and how they perceive themselves. I think, but still, I think that's a real fear of like getting left behind.
Yeah.
Not in a sense, or like, do I need to catch up but and you not necessarily, and that other person not necessarily wanting this. Like wanting to do. And so.
And mad that you're wanting to do it because now it's pulling them into an uncomfortable place. Like I granted, I can't argue with you. Yes, this is a healthy direction. Yes, this is best for us. But like it's like you jumping into the pool and I'm just like sticking my toes in like, oh, it's cold. Okay, like can you give me a second? Like let me warm up to it. Like, dang, you already out there. And so it's you're inviting me on the journey because let's be real. Think about it. A lot of couples work out together.
They do.
A lot of couples, they either started that way or they decided to do it that way. And so
it is easier.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like a built-in accountability partner.
Yeah.
And you're in the same house. So it's not like I always say, man, when I was on my sugar fast, you were literally the hardest person to have a sugar fast with because you would bring in so much sugar.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do. But I'm not saying there is. And so when you are living in a home that is kind of countering what you're doing, I think that does make it harder when you are with someone who is like, but here's my thing. I don't think it is realistic.
Yeah.
That every way in which I am growing, you have to be growing as well.
For sure.
Like we grow differently.
And sometimes the growth happens because I'm inspired by your growth. Whether I say it or not, I'm like, wow, dang, okay, like sheesh. I mean, like she really killing it. Like, okay, like let me see what this might be like. Like I know people that's been their experience, not only from a spiritual standpoint, but also emotional, all of the areas of life. They start to see another partner grow in a way to where they're just jealous of the way they like the way they respond.
Do you feel like there is ever, like, have you ever experienced this? Do you feel like there is ever a time where you're like, what if I'm not going to use healed, but like, what if the growth part of me is no longer attracted to the non-growth part of them, like the part that they refuse to grow, or they refuse to kind of it says like, I'm trying to be. I don't think it works in the context of physical, but it could.
Yeah. No. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Is there a point in where the person who is doing the growing looks back and says, well, what if I'm not attracted to that person anymore?
To be honest, I think that growth, and I've said this to you before, growth eventually becomes a thing where you're not doing it for anybody else but yourself. And it's not so much a selfish thing, but it's a thing where you're like, it's not about whether they like this or not. It's I can't.
But I'm saying the person who has grown, what is there ever a fear in them, the person who is seeking growing in whatever area, that they become fearful that they're not going to be attracted to their spouse
because of their growth?
Because of their growth.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that like because of my growth, if you're not attracted to me anymore because of my continual desire to deal with a lot of my past hurt and trauma,
what if you're not attracted to me because you've grown?
That's a thing. That's a real thing. I get that. Okay. Like there sometimes your package cannot look as good anymore because I went and renovated my whole apartment and you sitting over there in the busted apartment.
Right. In a relationship, not in a friendship, how in a relationship do you keep yourself humble? Not humble. I don't think humble is the right word. Like, is there a point where you're tolerating it? Like, how do you still seek your growth, but don't lose interest in the fact that you're just not doing anything.
This is one of the ones where I always want to turn it over to the audience and be like, what do y'all think? Because like I don't want to say it, like, but like I don't want to say it because
What
it's
don't
like
you want to say?
I don't want to say that. The truth is that as you continue to grow and you're looking at your partner who has decided they want to stay the same, the truth is yes, you one, you definitely outgrow them, but then two, eventually your level of growth allows you to show up differently in ways that they just won't do it. So you're both in the car together and your road rage is no longer a thing because you have more empathy than anger now. And now your partner is sitting over there cursing them out, and your partner, the police show up and they take your partner to jail. And you like, I want the bad idea. He need to relax, being like it was not even that serious. Like he's like, wait a minute, what you mean it wasn't that serious? You saw it, but it's like, yo, but I don't see it that way anymore. And the truth of the matter is over time, your partner's lack of growth is going to become a stumbling block. It's gonna start to like
But
hurt.
I know, and we are called.
I know. God.
And so I feel like, and I only bring that up because I think that is a real.
Yeah.
That's a real tension that
facts
people are holding, and I think sometimes it holds people back from seeking growth in certain areas because it's like, but what if
I can't leave my partner behind?
If I leave them behind, what does that mean? Or will they feel inspired by me? Or will they decide they can do what they want? I'm just going to stay the same.
Yeah, I mean, you're hoping for that. But
you can't force. We've already said, like at the beginning, we can't force 100%. It. But also, I'd also want to say, like, I think sometimes we want our partners to grow in the way in which, and that we want it to look like the way we grew. Or we want to see them grow in the areas we think they should grow in. But I feel like if a partner is growing in any area, why are you laughing?
Because I feel like you're talking about me again. You talking about me
Am
again.
I? No, I'm not.
Okay,
not even a little bit.
Well, yeah, no, I'll tell you. There's been times where I'm just like, I wish she would grow in that area already. Like I'll put myself out there.
But I think that, and that may be a thought. I'm not saying that. I'm saying. Now I lost my train of thought.
I threw you off. Yeah, I'll jump while you pulling your thought back. I mean, like, yes, I have, and it's sad because I know I'm wrong. So looking back, it's like, yo, you can't expect her to grow the way you grow at the pace you grow in the areas you grow. It doesn't work that way. As sweet as it would be, which is crazy to even think it works that way. It doesn't work that way. There's no, even if you're both going to the same, and you can't, but if you're both going to the same therapist, your growth plan, I love how I used to talk about this, is like your growth plan, what it looks like is it's not like goes A to B to C. No, it's like a child taking a crown and just scribbling on the paper.
Right.
That's your growth plan. Now you give a piece of paper to the same child with a crown and you say, hey, try to do that again. They're going to scribble it on, and that's going to be your partner's growth plan. They're going to look nothing alike, but that's y'all's growth plans right there.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of my point. Like, I think it's not going to look the same, but I think if both partners are growing, there is some grace that we should extend to the partner. Sure. In the areas that we feel like they should, sure. Like, right? So let's say you're not growing in your healthy eating habits.
Yeah.
Hence the gushers.
Yeah.
The gushers that you said you were not going to eat.
Wait, hold up. Wait a minute. You bought them for me, right?
Right, but then you're like, well, babe, I'm not eating those right now. You literally went.
What I'm gonna do with them now?
You're like, Harley can have those.
Lies.
You did say that.
I don't recall ever. Like,
you want me to say exactly what you said?
What did I say?
You were like, honestly, I haven't been eating those, so Harley can have those because I don't have dental insurance right now, and so I'm not really eating those sugaries. Look at your face. You did say that.
That's crazy. That's diabolical that you put that out there right now. That is diabolical.
You told me to say it.
Yeah, I didn't know you were going to say that. Like, Cut that out, please.
Yeah,
cut
we
that
can
out.
cut that out. No.
But no, I mean,
But that's
dang. I didn't know we were getting this personal. I'm going.
My point is, you may not be growing in that area, but there are plenty of areas that I see that you are growing. And so even though my point of that is you're as a partner, there is a responsibility on me to see you as a full part, like you said, as the crayon. Like right now, that's not the area that you need to grow in or that you're called to grow in or that you feel pulled to grow in, right?
Yeah.
And just because that's the area I'm growing in does not mean that I have to place that on you.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of times we feel as couples, we have to do it together.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, there are certain things absolutely we should do together. And you may not be called to grow in this area.
Right.
And that has to be okay. There has to be space for that. So
Yeah.
I just think that there are ways.
I mean, I wish you would grow in the area that I grew in, like when it came to like getting my hair off the sink and stuff like that. Like it just never happened.
You had to find something, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
You had to.
I did.
And I did grow in that area. I cut off my hair.
I like it too.
So
hey, win.
But yeah, no, I think it's a real. Honestly, I think it's a real problem.
What is?
Like it's a real thing that people face of like, I'm growing in this area and I just wish my partner would. Like, I think it's something that people really.
No, I think this is what we're talking about. This dynamic of growth within a relationship, and like you said, in any relationships, I think this is why relationships fall apart, grow apart, move on from each other because of changes.
Yeah.
We can call it growth. We can call it evolution. We can call it just evolving, growing in so many different areas that pull people apart. We've seen it a ton. We've seen it in our lives. We've seen it in other people's lives.
I mean, we've seen it in our own marriage where we have to make a conscious
100%,
conscious effort to reconnect in areas that we have felt disconnected in because of our growth.
For sure. 100%. And I think that's, once again, that goes back to the sacrifice of, am I willing to make the sacrifice to grow, to reconnect, or say my growth it's not worth trying to wait for them?
Yeah. I mean, I don't ever think you should, if you are feeling called to grow, if you are feeling pulled to grow in an area, I don't feel like you should not because of a partner. I think.
I agree with that. I don't think you should base your growth or desire to even if it's just to go back to school on your partner. Like, I think that it's something you are making a decision for you. Even you could be making that decision for your family.
Well, now, if you're going back to school, that's a little different because there's finances involved. I mean,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean.
But like, you know what? I could be eating better because I want to be here on this earth longer for my family. I am not just making a decision for me, but I'm making a decision for my whole family. I want to begin to deal with a lot of my trauma so that my kids don't have to deal with this later on. That is a decision I'm making, not just for me, but I'm making it for my kids. So there is so much that your family and people around you benefit from your growth. So to say I don't want to do that because of how it's going to affect people, I think you should do it. And hopefully that calls people higher. It calls people into the challenge of like, man, I want to do that. You inspired me, bro. Like, because think about how many people we've inspired through our conversations and different things just to say, you know what? I'm going to start having those conversations at home, man. I'm going to start listening to y'all and we going to step out and begin to have that conversation too. You've inspired me to begin to have those conversations and think about those things that we've never talked about and just see how it goes. I'm concerned maybe we'll fight, but like, what if we don't? What if we can just take the same blueprint you guys are doing and maybe watch my tone, maybe watch the way I feel when I start to get angry and different things. Yeah. So I think that it calls people into a space that they didn't know maybe existed, to see what could happen, to see how it changes them and others around them. I think in all of it is just, it's a decision. It's the decision to say that, hey, look, this is for my best, because I truly believe that people grow forward. They grow up. Can people grow down? For sure. But like,
I don't think people grow down. I don't think people grow down. I think that
I don't know. I've seen people. And
how do you grow down?
Yeah, I'm giving an example.
Like, isn't that?
I've seen NBA players, NFL players that the second they get money, they become the version of themselves that never existed because now that has made them somebody different.
I would say that version always existed. Money just exacerbated it.
Okay, you're right. That's it. You're right. Nope, that's good. And you're right. They couldn't afford to be that version.
Yeah,
of themselves before.
now they have the means. Sorry.
So you're right. They didn't really grow down where they just
stayed the same, and they were life gave
they're
them
on steroids. Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, either way, I think growth is, like I said, to expect your partner. I think to expect your partner never to grow is very, I don't want to say naive in a negative way, but I think we do live in this naive space of like, I want us to stay the same at all always.
That sounds just like a love novel or some movie. Like, I want us to be like this forever.
And you mock it to a degree, but I think we're not saying it as in that cheesy way, but we want our partner we have an expectation of how our partner is supposed to show up. And when they are changing, they are showing up differently. And that doesn't necessarily mean negative. Yeah. And so when that happens, we do feel some type of way. And so we might not be like, oh, I don't want ever this change. I don't think we're doing it like that. I think we're saying, this is who I expect you to be this person, because that's who I married. But that is not, life changes you, experiences change you.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything changes you.
So look, we're going to go into the lightning round now. Lightning round.
Okay.
Like, wait a minute, how is there a lightning round?
Yeah, I don't have a lightning.
What is a lightning round to the conversation? It's a conversation. It's not
Go.
a game
What's
show.
the lightning?
Lightning round. What level of growth made you begin to go from being, how do I want to say this?
It's not going to come out well. I can already tell.
I'm just going to jump out there. Just go with it. What level of growth made us go from the fun, crazy, go out here and do wild stuff, parents, husband and wife, to like, man, we got to be a responsible adults and go to bed.
Is that growth or is that just maturity?
Maybe it is maturity. Okay. All right. Next round. When did we start to like look at life so serious when it came to like, was that a growth thing when we became so serious about everything? Or did we just leave our childhood behind and just decide that we had to grow up?
I think everyone can have a different answer. I think for me personally, life kind of chose it for me. In a way in which when I've experienced certain things, there was a level where I had to grow up. But what I think, but then that exposed me to things that I never thought could or would happen. And now on the other side of it, I take things more serious just because of the things I was exposed to, the situations and the realities, right? I think when you're a child, there's a little naivety. There's a lot of, you don't real. For instance, I don't know. I don't want to get that dark. No.
Okay.
But okay, I can't. Like, there was never a thought in my mind at 8 years old that I would lose my mom at 23. Right? So there was not this thought of like losing. But when I experienced that loss, now, and I've told you this, even with pictures, like I like to take a lot of pictures because I don't feel like I have a lot of pictures of my mom. And I don't want my kids to ever be in a position where they don't have pictures of me.
Yeah.
And so or like they say like, I just don't have a lot of, now mind you, we didn't have smartphones. There's a lot of reasons,
For
right?
sure.
But also there is this very real thing that happens in moms when they're not physically where they want to be, that they purposely do not, they'll take the picture, but then you don't have pictures of your mom.
Yeah.
And so I think that, right, there was a naivety that I had, or there was like an unawareness that once I experienced certain things in my life, that unawareness went away and it became a real possibility. And so I think life became more serious.
Right.
Now, is that growth or is that trauma? I don't know.
I honestly, I think it's a little bit of both. I think,
Yeah.
I mean, I think what you're describing is like trauma changes people,
Yeah.
and sometimes it can change us for the worse. Sometimes it can change us for the better. So yeah, I mean, I definitely get what you're saying as far as maturing, as far as growing up. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid though, but I think that in wanting to be a Toys R Us kid, it gives me this youthful, young approach to a lot of things, which allows the gray hairs to fool people. Like, you look like you're like in your 20s, 30s.
No one's saying 20s, but continue on.
I'll take 30s. But like, they're like,
I don't think
"Man,
anyone's saying 30s.
okay, you know what? God, man, can't have nothing. We can't have nothing."
I'm kidding. I don't know what they're saying about
Totally
you.
saying 30s. But like, but no, I think that there's a level of, and I'm going to go Bible now. Unless, I'm going to paraphrase this a little bit too. So like, calm down. This is not a translation. Unless we are to be like children, we will never enter the kingdom of God. And when I think about that, I know that's not saying, hey, look, you got to stay a child. But I think there is a level of youthfulness and a level of the way our daughter at her young age sees God versus the lens we see God with through all the experiences we've had.
I also think that he's also speaking to a level of dependency that children have on their parents.
Oh, yeah. Come on, doctor. Yeah.
I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, that was good. You're right. Yeah, the dependence.
Yeah,
That's the part.
dependency. Yeah, yes.
Because a child depends heavily on
I think there's a
on
part of
on
it, yes, that
on,
yeah.
on his parent.
Mm-hmm.
And as we grow older,
But
our
also there's a level of curiosity and a level of imagination and a level of all of that.
I've never seen a child rapping like Bootsy's INDEPAE.
What are you
It's like
talking about? What do you mean?
independence. Like being independent.
I was very confused. I was like, wait, where did Boosie come in kids? I was very confused, but I got it now.
Yeah. It's like they don't even consider that like I'm independent. Like I'm sure there's somebody that just don't know what they're saying, but like a dependence. Like, think about it. The second we came off our parents' phone bill, it was like, God, I got to pick this up now.
Right.
And then we start to come off their insurance. God, I got to pick this up. There is a level of like, I would love to depend on you to do this.
Yeah.
There is still that level of like, God, I want to depend on you to do this.
Right.
And so when it comes to this whole idea of like maturing, growing up, I don't ever want to grow up so much. And I've had to dial it back where I depend on me.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, yeah, I don't think that would be growth though.
What would you call that then? Okay, you know what that means.
Self-sufficiency. I would call it
Survival.
I think I would call it pride. It's this idea that we are self-sufficient.
Yeah.
And we know more about ourselves. I don't think we would say it like that, but that we know more and we are able to we can do this just as well, if not better than God. And I don't think we necessarily address it that way, but that's how we move. Right. We wouldn't say that vocally, especially if we're a Christian.
For sure.
But he's going to mess up those chords.
That's okay. Sit down, boy. Sit down.
But he wants to so bad.
He wants to so bad come over here and sit with us.
But yeah, so that's what I would say. But I think, in all of that, I think that
Sit.
growing doesn't necessarily mean that you have to become more serious. I think that's a mislabeling of it. I think growing realizes that I don't have to I don't have to live in dysfunction. I don't have to live in disorder.
Yeah.
I think that's more where growth comes in.
Yeah. No.
Because even like with my health journey and all that, it wasn't a matter of, oh, I want to look better. That was never really I want to be skinnier. That was never even really a motivation. Honestly, when that was the motivation, I didn't do it. So that wasn't a very good motivation. It was a health and a mental health. It was more of a mental health journey that brought me to the physical health and how my physical health was impacting my mental health.
That's kind of
and
crazy.
not realizing how those two things were playing hand in hand for me personally.
Yeah.
Which is probably why I don't apply it to you or expect that you follow, because it wasn't a physical look.
It was
growth.
It was a mental.
It was a
change.
mental health concern that I realized my physical body was playing into. So I don't think growth has to mean boring I think it's more a more healthy or a less dysfunctional approach to life, whether that be through our mental health, through our spiritual health, through our physical health, any of that.
Right. No, that makes sense.
But I still think that when you feel like your partner is growing and you're not, and or you feel like you're growing and your partner's not growing, to realize there is a little bit of a responsibility in a relationship.
For sure.
To grow, you can grow differently and still be connected.
Yeah. And maybe even have to adjust the connection based on the growth that's happening.
Yeah. Like it might not look the same, but that doesn't mean it's any less valuable.
For sure. Actually, I would say it's valuable in its own way. It's just realizing.
Just looks different.
Yeah.
I mean, we do it with our kids all the time. Do I connect with a 3-year-old the same way I connect with a 7-year-old? Do I connect with a 7-year-old the way I connect with a 13? Do I connect with a 13-year-old the same way I connect with an 18-year-old?
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, the parents actually struggle with this when you have to turn off that parent and you have to become more confidant and friend once they're adults because they get to make their own decisions. Like growth happens and our responsibility in relationships that we want to maintain, as long as it is it's a healthy relationship. I'm not speaking of unhealthy ones, right? Like there are some times that we grow out of unhealthy relationships that we need to move on from, right? Like I'm purely speaking of relationships that have dysfunction that you grow out of, or even just maybe it served you once. Maybe it served y'all at the beginning of your relationship before you had kids, but now it doesn't.
Yeah.
That doesn't make one right, one wrong. It just means that we had to grow. We're in a new season.
Yeah.
The same way new flowers grow every single spring. I think you can even look at creation and see a rejuvenation growth is supposed to happen. And when we try and stay the same, we end up stifling one another.
Right.
Even in our parent and children interactions. If I were to treat our 17-year-old son the same way I treat our 7-year-old daughter, that would be very unhealthy. And it would not be good for our relationship.
Yeah.
I have to grow with that.
True. I think we slowly become, we're always going to be mom and dad, but we slowly go from parent to advisor.
Yeah.
And that is.
And hopefully friend.
Yeah.
The hope is friend. That is, of course, more up to the child, but.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. We'll land it.
I'm supposed to land it?
Hey, look, check us out.
You be the closer.
I think the extent of this conversation, we've nailed this one down pretty well, and I don't think that ends the conversation. I just think it begins the conversations you may have, whether it be with yourself, with the relationships you have in your life, with your partner. I think let's be real. all we're doing is having conversations to inspire others, and we're sometimes even giving you a blueprint to say, yeah, that's a great conversation. I've never really thought about that, and that's actually been bothering me in my marriage, that I feel like my partner's always just quick to jump off the bench and just jump into new things, and they leave me behind, and they're growing in so many different areas. And so hopefully this inspired you today. If it did, regardless, just give us a thumbs up real quick. Also, share this with somebody. Share this with couples who are struggling in the areas of, as some people like to say, we're outgrowing each other. To realize that outgrowing each other doesn't always mean quits. Sometimes it just means recalibration. It means adjustments. It means looking at a relationship differently and realizing that I was hoping, you can't change a person, but I was hoping to maybe inspire this person. And let's talk about why my growth has maybe not inspired you, or has made you kind of reject me in a way, or made you feel some type of way, and have these conversations before you just throw it away.
Yeah.
But outside of that, hey, we thank you guys for coming. Love you guys, and we will catch you on the next episode. See you guys soon.
See ya.